Hi everybody, how's it going? Merry Christmas. This is an experiment. I have a new StreamYard account which allows me to stream to 3 places. So this is going out to YouTube, Facebook and Periscope, I think. And I just wanted to come in and talk a bit about how I'm feeling at the moment. It's that weird time, isn't it, between Christmas and New Year. And now the family's up. The house was quiet until I hit record. And now it's noisy. So, some of you who follow my channel will know that I am a recovering alcoholic. And also that I have been diagnosed with depression in the past. And these are issues that have come up for me in the past couple of days. Christmas is that weird time when, everybody drinks. No, let's not say everybody drinks. When people tend to drink more than they normally would. And I remember my sponsor saying back in my early days when I got sober in Luxembourg that he hated this time of year because it brought out all the amateurs. It's like he was a professional drinker and the amateurs would come out at this time of year and get in the way, which I always found quite amusing. And I could relate to it as well, But what I'm finding now after even 15 years of sobriety is that, this time of year is hard for so many reasons. And I think I used to use the alcohol to get me through this weird time. I've never been a fan of Christmas, if I'm honest. And this is something I'm dealing with now because I have a family, and that's, Scrooge gets mentioned, Humbug gets mentioned. So, having a family and not liking Christmas, it's a difficult thing. So, yeah. So I didn't drink, which is great. So I need to hold on to that as the thing that keeps my base level going. I didn't drink. I haven't drank in a long time, but every day is a reprieve from alcoholism. So that's how I need to think about it. If I'm feeling down about anything and can't see any wins in my day, then I just hold on to that. I didn't drink today. You might hear the cats in the background. That's Willow Cat. So that's my win. And yesterday, Boxing Day, was a bit of a difficult one. And I don't know why. I felt incredibly low. And I recently found a really good recovery group on Twitter. Well, not a group, there's a community of recovering alcoholics on Twitter, and that has been really helpful. I'm really enjoying finding my way into Twitter through the recovery groups and the hashtags, and it's been amazing. There's people in there who are celebrating their first sober Christmas, and I can remember what that was like. Boy, that was weird. So to get through a Christmas day, we had no family fights, we had no alcohol, nothing went wrong. It was a great day. So what happened yesterday? I don't know. I ended up binge watching Parks and Rec, which is one of my turn-tos when I'm feeling like I need to escape from life. Oh, there's Vish on my... Oh, we're getting some of the PTYA people on the feed. Wow, nice to see you guys. I didn't know that you would get notified, so it's nice to see that works. I hope my audio is coming through because Sounds fine to me, but I can't really hear. Anyway, technical issues. So where was I? Parks and Rec. When I'm feeling down, I'll put on TV and hide myself away. So that's what I did. I got up yesterday about 8, I think, and binge watched all of the last season, which disappointingly was only like 10 episodes, or maybe just as well, because I was fully expecting to be sitting there for a full 22 as the other seasons had been, and it stopped like at midday, 12:30, something like that. The last one finished, and I was like, oh, right, now I'm going to have to find something else to use to escape. So I went to bed and picked up my Kindle, started reading some Thomas Covenant book, which is some fantasy books that I really enjoy. And then I had a nap, and then I was like, well, maybe I'll get up now. And I did, and I watched a movie. I watched George Clooney film, space film, Midnight Sky, something like that. It was alright. And then by that time it was dark o'clock, so the whole day had been spent just hiding, pretty much. But I was trying to be kind to myself and tell myself that this is okay. It's okay not to feel okay, and you don't have to worry about it. You can just be not okay and indulge in some TV and some movies and some books. So that's what I did. And then my wife came back from having been out at the horses, and we put on Die Hard 2, which actually kind of cheered me up. I mean, Die Hard films, we have that thing in the house where Die Hard film is a Christmas film. Some people think it's not, so we argue about that, in jest. And one year I made my daughter watch Die Hard. I think it was 2 years ago. And this year we decided we would go with Die Hard 2, Die Harder. And it was awesome. Really enjoyed it. It lifted me right up. So what did we do after that? We watched Die Hard 4. And that was, come on. He brings down a helicopter with a car, and then he brings down an F-35 jet plane with a truck. So that's the kind of effects you're getting in there. It was really fun. So yeah, I'm just trying to be kind to myself and remember that I didn't drink yesterday. I didn't drink on Christmas Day. I didn't drink on Christmas Eve. And I'm intending not to drink today. So we'll move on a bit to my ideas. I would like to do a live stream at least once a week. In fact, probably to start out with on a Sunday morning, which is now. Because my first meeting of AA was, well, the one that I got to when it stuck, was on a Sunday morning in Luxembourg at 10 in the morning. So I always think of that as my kind of home time, my anniversary, if you like, of when my sobriety stuck. So it was September 2005, Sunday morning, when I crawled into those rooms and asked for help. So it worked. I did drink again the following month, which is why my anniversary is October and not September. But I do think of that first meeting as my beginnings, if you like, with AA. So I would like to start coming in maybe on a Sunday morning at 10, if I can schedule that into my week. I think it'd be really good for me because, like yesterday, I didn't really talk to anyone. I did send out a couple of tweets, but nothing really that... they say when you're feeling that way that you need to reach out and talk to someone, pick up the phone. That's one of the tools of sobriety, and I didn't do that. So maybe if I use my accountability partner, to make sure that I have someone to whom I am accountable for doing a live stream every week and going out at 10 on a Sunday. And if I did have that in my accountability calendar and I didn't feel like doing it, I think I would probably still do it. And when I came out the other side, I would feel better because I would have talked it out, if that makes sense. So let's have a little bit of a musical interlude and we'll see what comes out. So I'm not getting fancy, all of this is just going into one microphone, so it should be simple and not complicated. Sounds quite nice in the headphones. Curious to see how it sounds out there on the internet. One of the things that came up in the PTYA course, the Part-Time YouTuber Academy course that I just finished a couple of weeks ago, was using my guitar and my AE talk together as a way of making my channel unique and finding an audience that likes both things, which would be me. I am that audience. I can't really talk and play at the same time, though, that's the thing. Cats are going to be a feature, of course. They're waiting on Lorraine getting up to feed them. So what does today have in store? I don't know, to be honest. But it's been a better day already. I got up and did the kitchen chores, which is a good sign, because if I'm not feeling like engaging with the day, then that gets left. I just don't get into it. I put my headphones in and started listening to a podcast, which is also a sign that things are okay. I was listening to Luthier on Luthier, which I was thoroughly enjoying. Let me just show you a screenshot of this, because this one, come on camera, there we go. It's Michael Bashkin, who's an American luthier, who talks with other guitar makers around the world. And on this episode he's talking with Rosie Haydenrich. Rosie of Turnstone Guitars down in England. And Rosie is awesome. I met her in Halifax in 2018, where I recorded a podcast with her and learned things not to do with cameras when recording. In other words, it didn't work. We ended up with an audio podcast only because I'd made an arse of setting up the cameras. So that was embarrassing, but it was still good content. It was a really good conversation. And Rosie is building guitars using English woods. And she builds with traditional woods as well, traditional tropical hardwoods. But she's becoming known for building sustainable wood guitars using English yew, padauk, sycamore, bog oak, which is oak that's been taken out of the ground in the fenlands. It's been in the ground for multiple thousands of years, and she uses that for back and sides. It's a really nice, dense, kind of rosewoody density back and side wood for guitars. And I kind of feel like there's a turnstone guitar in my future. Don't tell my wife. Alessandro, good morning. The PTYA crew are in town and it's amazing. Willow in the background. So when I talk here and look at myself in the camera, it looks like the audio is a little bit out of sync. That's something I'll need to look at. This guitar was built by a German luthier who's sadly no longer with us. A guy called Heiner Dreitzenter. I met Heiner in Germany at a guitar show in Osnabrück, and I was smitten with this guitar. I didn't buy it at the time and regretted that, so got in touch with Heiner and said, is that guitar still available? And it was. A squeak in my guitar, it's going mew. Oh. That'll be the cats then, Ian. So yeah, if you're interested in guitars, take a look at Turnstone Guitars, Rosie Hayden-Rich. It's pretty cold here today. We had ferry cancellations yesterday. Well, I say cancellations. There's only one ferry goes out on Boxing Day and it didn't sail. But it's not such a big deal as normal, I guess, because of lockdown 4. So no one's going anywhere anyway, are they? And that's another thing when it comes to gratitude. I got to spend Christmas Day at home with my family. That in itself, in these weird times, is something to be incredibly grateful for, because so many people have not been able to do that. And I don't know that the kind of mental health implications have really been considered properly about how people are going to feel about that going into the new year, which is traditionally a time of low moods anyway. January can be a bit of a struggle for people. Oh, Neil is selling his turnstone. Interesting. Did you listen to the podcast, Neil? Luthier on Luthier? I've played Neil's turnstone guitar. It's very nice. I can definitely recommend it if you're looking for one in a hurry. Don't want to get on the waiting list. But yeah, January's a beast of a month. And to be going into January with maybe more debt than usual, or about the same amount of debt, depending on whether you've kind of spent your way out of the COVID issue, that's a thing as well. And going into January, having not had any time with your family, and it's, it's going to be a grim time, I think, in many ways. So yes, I need to keep that in my mind, the gratitude of being home with my family on Christmas Day. It's just something I could hold on to, something I could write down in my morning pages, which I did do on Christmas Day and I didn't do yesterday. See, that's what I'm talking about. Accountability is not there. Morning pages is a thing I've been doing, well, on and off for many, many years, but recently, since the part-time YouTube Academy started, part of that was what's called the Power Hour. So every morning at 8 a.m, there would be a scheduled Zoom call with the people from the group. We would come in, we would say good morning, and then we would get on with a job for the next hour. And the idea of it is that you do something that is important but not urgent. Because the urgent things tend to get done anyway, because they have to. But the important things are the things that slide off your day. So for me, writing, morning pages, journaling, I find it incredibly helpful, and I just don't get to it. So I started using my power hours for that. So every morning at 8 a.m, I would open a browser window. I tend to do it digitally at the moment, but I do switch between journaling in my notebook and digitally. And I had a limit of 750 words. That's how many words I would set myself as a goal before I could stop writing. And it was incredible. I did it for a full month during the course, and then I kept going with it up until yesterday when I broke my streak. So, that's what I'm getting at. I know that if I had done some writing yesterday, it would have lifted me quite a lot. So, yeah. So my friend Ian is talking about his mother-in-law who's 80 and had a great day instead of being on her own. Brilliant. That's what I'm talking about. There's so many cases around the world where that hasn't got to happen this year. And it's heartbreaking, It really is heartbreaking. So I'm glad you got to do that, Ian. That's fantastic. Brilliant. Has anyone else in the chat got some stories of how you spent Christmas Day? Jump in. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, and we're on Periscope. Come and let me know how you spent your Christmas Day. Did you get to see your family? Did you plan on seeing family and then not get to see them? That's tough to take. Just another Davish, huh? cancel family plans. Man. So in Scotland, I think probably New Year is a bigger event than Christmas, and this is one that I think last year was the first year I can remember that I didn't stay up for the bells. I used to get incredibly emotional, as did all my family, when the bells chimed in the new year, and I always managed to get home to my mum and dad's house somehow. That was always important to me. So wherever we were, because we were always out partying somewhere, me and all my mates, I would usually get home for the bells, and usually with a bunch of my pals in tow. And my house was kind of a safe place for all my pals. My mum and dad were quite liberal. They didn't worry too much about how much I was drinking. Maybe they should have, but it was a safe place for everyone, and it was fun times. But since I got sober, now my mum and dad are no longer around, but since I got sober, it became a difficult time for me, because I still felt that feeling of expectation, but there was nothing there. And my wife is not Scottish, she's from England, and so for her, Christmas was the time. New Year wasn't really important to her at all. And so that was difficult for me as well. She just didn't care, and it was like, I still had that feeling of hype. But last year, I kind of came to the conclusion that it was all just bullshit. It's not. It isn't, it's not. I'm still wrestling with this, you can tell, right? It's the idea of new beginnings, and I mean, particularly this year, 2020, am I right? But I think this year I'll probably just do the same. I might not even stay up, because it's just another day. Well, it is what you make of it, isn't it? If I decide it's just another day, then I'm not going to be disappointed. I'm not going to be feeling sad. I'm not going to be feeling emotional that anything really. It's just another day to be grateful for being sober and for having my family around me. And that's really all I need. And I can have that at 10 in the morning or 11 at night or lunchtime. It doesn't matter that the bells are chiming in another day or another year, because, I mean, time is a construct anyway. So I think what I'm saying is I probably won't make an effort to stay up unless maybe my daughter wants to, because she's at that age. In fact, she's at the age where she might be out at a party or something. I don't know. Don't know what her plans are. But for me, it would just be nice to wake up the next day and not have a hangover and have my family around me. So, yeah, it's all about gratitude. That's what it's about. So I'm coming up to 30 minutes for my stream, so I'm going to end it at 30 minutes. I'm going to thank the people for coming, all of you guys that came in and said hi. It's fantastic. I'm really, really pleased that the very first stream that I do, I get some friends jumping in and saying hi. As I said at the beginning, this is something I'm going to start doing, I think, on a weekly basis, probably on a Sunday morning. So if you want a wee bit of cams in your life on a Sunday morning, you can come and join me. There is a feature on this software that allows me to bring in guests, so that could be a feature as well at some point. And maybe we could even start doing a kind of podcast thing. I don't know. Just putting ideas out there. This is the first one, so Ian's saying he's one of the few Scots who doesn't like New Year. It's a difficult one for me. I always loved it, and I always used to get really worried that I was going to run out of drink. Because, right, you know, alcoholism, but... I don't know that it ever happened. I think I generally passed out before that happened. But thank you all for coming and sitting in here on your Sunday morning. I've really enjoyed doing this. I'm glad it worked. And I wish you all the very best. If I don't see you all before, I'll see you next Sunday, and have a wonderful week. Cam's out.